All right, welcome back to the show, everybody. Hope you all having a great day so far. So it's the end of the month, everyone, and that means it's time to take a break from all the current news, and especially this month with all the LeBron trade crap and all that stuff that I'm sure you are just as tired of hearing about as I am just as tired of talking about. So what's that mean? It's NBA open court time. Back to the routine. We missed out on this last month. That was mainly due to me taking a week break off of YouTube. But we are back in action, and the last one I reacted to was NBA Open Court, the front court, and now this one is NBA Open Court, the backcourt. So let's check this out, you guys. I'm ready to go. It's already 47 minutes without me, so I say let's just get right into it, guys. I hope you guys are, chilling. You got a drink, you got a snack, you got something, because it's gonna be like an hour video here, and hopefully you guys are down with it, because I don't know about you, I'm a little tired of, I'm a little burnt out on current news, so this is gonna be great to just go back in time again, and I think that's why this became a routine and a ritual, is because it kind of forces it. No matter what's going on in the league, it forces me to get back to my roots and get back to my love for basketball. So anyways, guys, like the video, all that stuff. Hype the video if you could. I'd appreciate it. This is from the NBA Open Court channel, and I'll be linking the original video down below in the description. You also see a list of channel members. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate you all. And I say without further ado, let's do it. Everybody who clicked on this video, I appreciate you all. I appreciate you. Let's have some fun with this. Kenny gave me a glass of water. By the way, I may be a little bit insane. It's 108 degrees outside as I'm recording this. It's hot in my house. I can only get it down to 80 degrees right now. And I got the fan on medium, so it doesn't interrupt with the microphone. And I'm drinking a hot coffee. That's why I'm actually insane. I'm drinking a hot coffee right now.
And welcome to another fun-filled hour of insight and opinion and hilarity and goodwill called Open Court here on NBA TV.
Goodwill.
The esteemed panel, beginning up here to my far right, is Steve Smith, along with Steve Kerr, Chris Webber, Charles Barkley, Kenny the Jet Smith, Reggie Miller, and the one and only Shaquille O'Neal. Today we're talking about backcourts, and this is always something near and dear to your heart, Kenny, so I'll start with you.
Okay.
Best backcourt you ever played in, played against?
Playing with Vernon Maxwell was great. I just thought that...
we got to hear some mention of the Detroit Pistons here, for sure.
Overall, his personality was infectious on the court, and his Mad Max persona.
Infectious, but you didn't catch it.
Oh yeah, you caught it. You needed to catch it, because at times I think you need to play with a guy. Charles was probably that guy on his team. I could see that, who elevates everybody's intensity in terms of the anger for the other team. And Vernon Maxwell was just that guy. He's going to talk to you. He's going to talk to them. He's going to talk to the bench. I mean, he takes a shot and he tell the bench, catch me because I'm falling in. I mean, he was that guy that was in. And I actually saw, he was the only guy I saw that irritated Michael ever in his career.
How about Reggie? He did that.
That's awesome, because I don't know how many of you have, but he is a regular guest on the All the Smoke podcast, and he's still hilarious, dude. He still has that same intensity, except for when he talks about Michael Jordan. Then he's just like, damn, man, that Michael Jordan, I got to rest the night before I play him and shit. It's so funny, dude. But it's because he used to really go at MJ. He really did. They went at it together. But, yeah, man, MJ was MJ.
Once or twice.
Yeah, but I just...
Oh, hold on. I think you're talking about Reggie?
Ever in his career.
How about Reggie? He did that once or twice.
Yeah, but I just... Vernon told him twice. He's like, if you score again, the way you're scoring, I'm going to fight you. And I was like, what do you mean? That's what he said. No, he's disrespecting me. He's just scoring at me too easy. So Michael scored again, and he actually swung on him.
Let's go to somebody who was not a
That's
guard.
awesome.
And Charles, best backcourt.
Stop scoring on me so easily, MJ. I'm going to hit you.
That you played with or played against?
Oh, man.
Probably Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumars, the best backcourt I played against.
C-Web.
I say Isaiah and Joe, or, I played against Nate McMillan and Gary, and they were Gary Payton, and I remember them trapping our guards. And
By the way, I was just trying to figure this out. These borders, they're not from me. I think the video is just like chopped a little bit.
I remember, the running jumps in Seattle, and I just remember defensively, every game it was just something for our guards, and so I really remember their intensity.
We'll just go up the line here.
Best backcourt I ever played with. Not that I ever got into the games. It was my rookie year. I never played, but
Phoenix?
AJ, Jeff Hornacek, and Dan Marley were the three guards in rotation in Phoenix, and they were perfect together. They all did different things, but they were so good individually and.
Yeah, KJ was an attacker, constantly keeping the defense honest. Hornacek was a three-point bomber. And Dan Marley was more of our defensive specialist who can also drop bombs from deep.
And together, they were fun to watch.
Do you remember Vernon Maxwell talking to Michael?
I think that was before I got to Chicago, but I remember when Vernon Maxwell ran into the stands and got suspended for about 10 games. So I'm sure there's a lot of Vernon Maxwell.
So
I don't remember that. That sounds like the Ron Artest thing. I don't remember Mad Max going out into the stands. You guys remember
what
that?
I meant was he was infectious, but you only want to catch a little bit of what he.
Yeah, you only want to catch a little bit of Maxwell. You know what? If you catch the Maxwell flu, it might get you out of the.
You don't want to go full Maxwell.
No question.
How about it, Smitty?
I got to give Mookie Blaylock the best backcourt partner I've ever had. Totally opposite than Vern. Didn't say much, went about his business. A thief in the backcourt. And I think watching and playing against, it has to be a trio for me too, Steve, is Isaiah, Joe, but you got to throw Vinnie Johnson in there too. Because the way they were all interchangeable.
Yep.
Joe could go over and move to the point guard spot where Isaiah could come off screens. Then you had Vinnie Johnson. So that was the best backcourt I played against or saw.
Shaq.
Best backcourt I've ever played with, as I said in my book, Shaq Uncut.
Oh, jeez.
Stores now. Best backcourt I played with was Penny Hardaway and Brian Shaw. Because Brian Shaw, we had a play that was called a Shawshank Redemption Unstoppable Play.
That makes sense. So you got a three-point bomber, and then you got what do you say about Prime Penny? The most unselfish player I've ever seen that can score.
Penny Hardaway was,
Shawshank.
Then when I went to L.A., Shaw came, and my second favorite is B. Shaw and Kobe. We still have the same play, Shawshank Redemption.
So, basically, the play you like
Shawshank, yeah.
Threw that lob.
Throw the ball to your big man.
Let him flourish. 28-15, baby.
Backcourts you've been part of, played against. What do you think, Rich?
The best player I played with would be Mark Jackson. It seemed like he had eyes in the back of his head.
Saw that coming.
And all I had to do was really set my man up, and he got me the basketball. Against, to me, was Magic Johnson and.
By the way, Mark Jackson is a dude who gets no respect, just like KJ. Except for this guy went to the finals twice, right? Once with Indiana, and he was there with New York, right? Help me out in the comments, guys. I'm pretty sure he went to the finals twice, but unfortunately he didn't win them. So history does not take care of those people, unfortunately. But I remember Mark, man. Mark was awesome. He was like, I don't know. I kind of felt like he was kind of like a J Kidd before J Kidd.
Byron Scott. And the reason Byron Scott wasn't a huge name, but he was such a great shooter, and Magic at 6'9", point guard. And that the matchups going between both of those players, it was so difficult because of their size. But I would say Magic and Byron Scott.
And to me, the best I never said it would play against was Michael and whoever was in the backcourt.
Yep.
As a big fella, a lot of the guards that I played with, the best ball handlers, I don't know if this is true for Shaq and Chuck.
You like how all he has to do is say Michael? Like, how many Michaels have there been in the NBA? But everybody knows who the hell we're talking about here.
But a lot of the guards would come to me and be like, man, I got Mookie, but I got Muggsy Bogues tonight. And when Muggsy Bogues played, I would always have to come up and set picks. So, 94 feet, he would start checking them. So I would actually take the ball out, get it to the guard so I could stay at that free throw line and set picks, and they hate it.
He's the toughest.
They hate
I take that back. Muggsy Bogues is the toughest. He's the toughest on-ball defender I've ever.
My guards always used to be like, man, come up and set a pick on him, you know what I mean, so I can get open, because he just fought.
I thought it was two Muggsies on the court. Because you dribble on this side and you turn back and he'd be there. Like, it's like two Muggsies.
No, if
What's going on?
Muggsy was guarding you and you got the ball full court, you threw it to the other guy. You take it, I'm running up. Lindsey Hunter's another guy who'd get in you. He had this sort of clamp. His arms were long, strong. He'd get you in his little zone, and you had to be really careful with that ball. He'd just poke it away.
Mine by far is Mookie. You know, bring the basketball up against Mookie. I saw Mookie win games by getting turnovers in the backcourt.
But you told me last year about Mookie saying when he was going to steal a ball from guys and he would wait.
The one crazy thing about Mookie, he never went out and shoot around. He never went out and worked out. He just stayed and watched tapes from guys counting.
Wow.
Kenny, when you put pressure on him, whether he's going to go around his back, whether he's going to cross over. And he would say, Steve, I'm going to get a steal right now because I've been watching tape after tape. And he gets a steal. So me, that's not like saying you're going to get a bucket.
Right.
Saying you're going to get a steal. You can go get a steal when you want to, by far, is Mookie.
Who did the best job at getting you the ball?
Man.
Where you wanted it?
That's a great question, Ernie.
Ooh, can I guess that one? Who gave Chuck the ball where he wanted? Kevin Johnson.
Well, that's why you asked.
Let me give you a great answer.
Are you?
And we'll be right back.
I mean, dude, Chuck created a lot of his own offense. I understand that this is a hard question because I can't think. Like, most you watch his highlights and you don't see a lot of feeds to him. You see him feeding a lot of people, but really, like, he would dribble the ball up full court and then plant his ass behind you and just back you up from the three-point line until he gets to a comfortable spot. He didn't really need a setup guy too much.
He can't say the guy who's the best player at the position with him.
Probably Hersey Hawkins did a fantastic job of getting me the ball where I wanted it. But actually, it's up to me to get the ball. You know, I hate when you're watching a game and the big guy hangs the guard out to dry. Because, like, when you lock the guy, you're supposed to get a guy a target. If he's supposed to throw it in that area, but if you let him come around and get the ball because you don't lock him up good, that's not on the point guard. But Hersey Hawkins, he says, if I throw this ball, I said, dude, I got this guy. You throw the ball where I got my hand at.
Describe you and Mike Bibby.
That's true. I mean, that's just basics in the post. You're posting up and you're trying to catch the ball. Like, you cannot let that person get in front of you, like, at all. And whether that means you have to use your off arm, you know, that's not up in the air in order to hold that guy back. You got to do whatever you got to do, man.
In Sacramento.
Yeah, it was just trust. You know, Mike and I, we had a relationship where we worked out in the summer, and we knew our offense was.
Another criminally underrated player, Mike Bibby, and Chris Webber. Both of these guys, man.
You got the ball in certain places, so it wasn't too much trickery. You know, you practiced in the same spots. And with Mike.
Yo, I'm sorry. I'll rewind this so we can hear what he's saying. Y'all remember when there was a period of time for many years where it was Chris Webber and Kevin Garnett? Like, those were the top two dogs as far as, like, who's the big power forward that's going to emerge. And then it ended up being Tim Duncan. Like, whoops. Oh, man. And then the problem is, like, we remember Tim Duncan. We remember Kevin Garnett because he won that chip and anything is possible. But, man, I feel bad, man, because Chris Webber was right there year after year. And I always feel he should have won one in Sacramento if not for the refs and gambling and all that corrupt crap. Like, C-Webb deserves to be remembered. He was right there. And if he would have won a championship instead of Kevin Garnett, I think we'd be talking about him the same way that we talk about that KG.
I had a relationship where we worked out in the summer, and we knew our offense was, you got the ball in certain places, so it wasn't too much trickery. You know, you practiced in the same spots. And with Mike, we just, you know, he would come off the pick and roll and or a handoff from me because that's what coaches wanted me to do. And he would go up, and I could tell he wasn't going to shoot it, and I needed to be ready. He was going to get it back to me. Or, you know, just the fact that he would say, you know, this time Fish is playing it this way, hand it off to me, I'm going to keep going.
Can I put you on the spot?
Yeah.
Jason Williams or Mike Bibby?
Oh, that's not fair.
I'd have to.
I'd have to say Jason Williams, better passer, but flashy. I would probably say Mike Bibby is getting, because the topic is getting him the ball where he wants it. I bet you Mike Bibby is the answer. You know, because white chocolate will hit you in transition on a fast break or like, you know, crazy dimes. But as far as like the day-to-day driving of like, hey, I'm in my post position, hit me within these 3 seconds or else we got to keep moving. I bet you that's Bibby.
I'd have to say Mike Bibby.
Stop
Yes.
it.
Only reason why
Stop it. I want to know. Stop it.
Because
Here we go. Here we go.
No, it's a good question.
I'm gonna say this. To me,
Two completely different style point guards and facilitators. Completely different style.
watching you, it was Jason Williams.
Thank you.
Because if it wasn't
Thank you.
Jason Williams, there would be no Mike Bibby.
First of all, that's 100% correct.
Thank you.
If it wasn't for Jay Will, it'd be no Mike Bibby. But the reason why I would say Mike Bibby is because when Mike Bibby came and played, he was a little bit more mature. When it was Jay Will, it was me, Jay Will, and Vladdy there the first year ever of Sacramento being together. You know, forming this identity and too much pressure on Jay Will because Jay Will can play. And the stuff he did with Pat Riley and Shaq, he could do with us, but he would get criticized if this went out of bounds or if, like you said, if the the receiver didn't catch the pass. So I think it was unfair for Jay Will to be in that position that young. I don't think he was ready for it necessarily. But Mike Bibby being more mature at that time. But Jay Will's the type of guy that'd be like, Webb, go up, you got to get this jumper. He'd be the guy pushing it, and you know, it was fun playing with him. I can't say that.
Okay.
But yeah.
How many times you get hit in the nose with a pass from Jay Will?
I'd probably say maybe once.
Oh, that's all it took.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. No, funny story. The first day of practice, I came to practice, and I didn't want to be in Sacramento. I didn't want to, I had to go in the room and talk to Vladdy and Jason. And Vladdy's like, I'm telling you, this kid Jason's pretty good. My brother called me, he's like, I'm telling you, Jason's good. Jason came down the fast break. You know, Shaq did something where he bounces it and hit it with his elbow directly to Vladdy, hit Vladdy in the face, wide open. I was like, this is gonna be fun. So Jay Will got the game, trust me. It's just he came in very young, though.
He's one of those rare cats like Magic Johnson or Steve Nash that like you have to constantly be looking at the ball. Like, where's the ball when you're on offense? If not, you're getting hit in the
So
face.
you knew about that? Was that in the book, Shaq
Yes.
Uncut?
Chapter 9, page 172.
Ernie, can I just mention one guy's name who I think is one of the most underrated players of our era, who nobody ever talks about anymore, is Mark Price.
Yes. I've seen a movement, and I've been part of the movement to try to bring his name back up into basketball talk because this guy was fantastic, Mark Price. I've made a couple of videos on him. I've seen others make a couple of videos on him. Like, yeah, Steve Kerr, you were ahead of your time because we're just waking up to this now. And yeah, he's always been criminally underrated. Another case of didn't win a championship, so people just associate Mark Price and Craig Elo as like, oh, you were part of the Cavs team that Jordan lit up. But they were so much more than that, man.
So good. You remember how
Hardest
good?
to check on the pick and roll. He was split the pick and roll.
man.
He created the split.
Yes.
Nobody was
invented the
splitting pick
split.
and rolls.
As a matter of fact, we have an entire segment devoted to more of the under the radar
I thought you
kind
were
of
saying
guys in the
Mark Price.
backcourt.
I was like,
Yeah, because like Stockton got all the credit, but Stockton was a traditionalist, a great facilitator, but very traditional. Mark Price, if this pick and roll isn't going the way he wants, he don't give a damn. He'll split the defense, or he'll back up and pop a jumper in your face. He's gonna make something happen. Mark Price. He kind of had a little bit of that wild dog in him that I love in a basketball player, kind of like a Manu Ginobili, where he's uncontrollable. You got to kind of just let him flow. He makes great decisions on the fly.
That's still to come on this edition of Open Court. We'll be right back.
he was good. He wasn't that good.
I'm not as
was pretty
confident
damn good.
in Derrick Rose's return. He's one of my favorite players, and I'll tell you why I'm not. Moving side to side, stopping, and your brain telling you to go up, and you feel a little twinge in that, and then the rehab process.
Yeah, I get it. After I tore my calf, my brain's never been the same as far as like being scared of getting injured now. I get what he's saying now. I used to not understand that. I get it now. I don't want to go through all that recovery again. So this is about what, a little more than 10 years ago then? We're talking about D. Rose coming back from retirement. Oh, I'm sorry, not from retirement, but from his injury. Be about 12 years ago.
Rose came down bad with his left foot. See him holding onto his knee and down.
Props to him for playing another, 10 years after that?
Welcome back to Open Court. There may be no highlight or video clip that former players want to see less than the one you just saw right there of Derrick Rose, first game of the playoffs, blowing out his left knee, torn ACL. Reggie, when you saw that happen, when you watch something like that.
Guys, did you watch? I saw that live. I was rooting for the Bulls so hard right at that time. Watching him go down like that broke my freaking heart. Like, man, you guys think I'm hype about like Wemby or Cooper Flag, or shit. All right, you guys think I'm hype about Wemby or Cooper Flag right now? Like, dude, I was so hype about Derrick Rose, and I don't think I'm the only one. Like, I saw this as like, he's going to bring back the winning mindset to Chicago, and they lost it since Jordan. Like, he's the next one they need. And then he went freaking down, man. It broke my heart. I believed in him with every ounce that I had. He had the willpower to change the outcome of any game whenever he chose to.
What's hitting you in the gut?
Well, Kevin and I actually called that game when he went down. And when it first happened, we were saying to ourselves, off camera, because the Bulls were up, was Coach Tom Thibodeau going to take out the starters and rest them? But as you know, in a playoff game and situation, you guys want to send statements to teams that they have no chance of coming back. So when he went down...
Same old problem with Tibbs, huh? Same old problem with Tibbs.
And the camera focused on his face right then and there, because he's never really had a major injury throughout his whole career, AAU, high school, college, whatever. You could see on his face that it was something serious. And obviously when it came out, the ACL and so forth, you feel, because he is such a good, humble kid, it's unfortunate. I think it's going to be a long haul for him, because when it's your first major injury and you don't know what to expect and you're just on the sidelines waiting, it can be very difficult.
The thing about it, too, we've seen him make that same move countless number of times. It's almost a trademark move in the paint that he made, and then to see it end up that way.
Yeah, Bernie is just one too many repetitions. It literally is a case of, and it's not like, I mean, we have hindsight now, so, but if Tibbs would have taken out the starters, this actually wouldn't have happened. Like, it's really that simple, because he would have rested, and it was just one too many. But then the truth is, Tibbs kept running his players down. Like, he was playing them way too many damn minutes, even in blowouts. So if it didn't happen this game, it was probably going to happen the next game, because Tibbs doesn't, it's unfortunate, man.
Just crushing. And for a guy whose explosiveness on the floor is that obvious and is that feared and that respected by opponents, do you lose just a degree of that makes you a mere mortal in the...
I mean that this is sad to hear this conversation, knowing how the outcome was, but like that first step, guys, I mean, that's probably faster than 80s Jordan. Like, it's so ridiculous how quick it is.
Is that obvious?
Like, look at this. Oh, hold on. Let me just back it up so you see it. Like, imagine guarding this live right in front of him.
Is that obvious? And is that...
Like, how much space he just created that quickly. It's insanity to me.
That feared and that respected by opponents, do you lose just a degree of that makes you a mere mortal in the eyes of these guys who check you now?
He's a guy who relies on the speed and the explosiveness. I tore my ACL in college. Obviously, I'm a totally different player. I'm a spot-up shooter.
In the World Games with me.
With Kenny, that's right. And it took a full year till I really felt comfortable.
He was dunking crazy.
I was doing all kinds of stuff. It was before the days of videotapes. But it's such a different thing for a guy who, as Kenny mentioned, relies on his speed to get by people. It's also his left knee, which is his jumping knee when he's going off that foot in transition or off pick and roll. I think the surgery has gotten better. The rehab has gotten better. Guys are coming back quicker. Guys are coming back in every sport from ACL. So there's no doubt he's going to be okay in terms of his recovery. But how much of the explosion will he lose, and how can he?
How much up here? Yeah. How much?
Thank you, Reggie. That's why I'm really enjoying this one so far, because that's one thing that people don't talk about that I'm understanding more and more as I get older, is the mental aspect of an injury like that takes you down for a year. Like, that messes with your head the entire year while you're recovering. And then it becomes fear because you don't want to miss out on another year. So then you start getting a little more, let's say, less aggressive and less psychotic on the basketball court as far as the way you attack. Unless your name is Michael Jordan and it's 1986 and you just don't care. That guy was psycho. All right. Michael Jordan was psycho. All right. It seems like everybody else, an injury that takes you down like that, it messes with your mental, as it should. You know, imagine you did something you do every single day. Like, I don't know, you grabbed your phone and responded to a text to your friend. And then next thing you know, you couldn't use your hands for a year. I bet you after that year, the next time you get a text, you're going to go, oh, shoot, I don't know if I should respond to this, man. You know, like, you're going to get scared.
Up here is really going to, he does that move how many times a game? 20, 30?
Yeah, and every single time now moving forward, he's going to think about going down every time he makes that move.
When he does that for the first or second time, is he always going to be thinking and reverting back to that game one versus Philly? I think more mentally, that's what's going to be his big challenge going forward.
That's a whole nother topic of coming back from injury and the mental aspect of that. And reporters will always ask, are you going to be thinking about it? I said, no, I can't think about it.
When we say mental, I think we really mean confidence. To be able to make that move and just explode, it's mental, but it's about having the confidence. Okay, my knee. But I also think
it's confidence in your body, Chuck. Like, it's confidence in your knee or whatever it is that it can handle what you're about to do.
Derrick Rose got a huge advantage myself because next year to me is a wash.
This coming season.
Yeah, this season's a wash because he tore his. I don't see him coming back before the playoffs.
Playoffs?
The playoffs. I mean, it takes pretty much a year. Mm-hmm. So I'm looking at playoffs. They to me probably won't get out of the first round.
So if that's the case, you wouldn't bring him back at all then?
I would bring him back.
If they're in the 7th or 8th seed, would you bring Derrick Rose back?
I probably wouldn't, to be honest with you. Because, you're still risking it, bringing him back, him being 100%. Because he's going to want to play. Yeah. They probably won't be able to win a round with or without him. Because they're going to be a lower seed without. They're losing a SIkEM also. They lose Kyle Korver. That team's going to be totally different because he did so much for that team. They lost Ronnie Brewer. So I don't think that team is going to be very good this year. So I might have him sit out the entire year, to be honest with you.
It's definitely a trust factor, as you guys know. I mean, I think for him, the big question is now, do you change your approach to the game? Do you change your game? I mean, is he going to become more of a facilitator? Can he? Can he think the game? Can he play the game, say like a Mark Jackson, if he had to?
Yeah. You know, I mean, everything before his injury was based off of speed and his ability to out-jump people. Like, you see every time he was finishing at the basket, he was dunking with two hands, you know, like launching and dunking, and people would get the hell out of his way. So that fear factor of guarding him was a huge thing. Take that away, and you know he's going to lay the ball up. Well, you don't get out the way anymore. You go for that block. And even when he would get into trouble in traffic, his go-to move was to jump real high right in the middle of the lane so he can see over everyone's head and then make the pass to the right player. So you take away those two aspects. And, I mean, poor Derrick Rose had to change his entire game.
I think that's going to be a big question for him. But as far as him attacking his rehab, knowing him as a person, watching him, he's going to get back to 100%, I think, strength-wise. But then that trust factor, you're going to think about those moves, Chuck, I think, for him. You know, how do you land? And do you go full speed? And that's going to be the big difference, I think, for Derrick Rose.
How do you put that out of your mind, C-Web?
You don't. You just have to realize who you are at this point. You know, we all talk about getting older when you start pump faking and you realizing that you can't do it anymore. And unlike you guys, I'm not as confident in Derrick Rose's return. He's one of my favorite players, and I'll tell you why I'm not. When he goes in, if you look at him and Westbrook, two of the most athletic guards we've ever seen in this league, when they plant and they stop and they cut, it's so quick. And I admire the guards for getting older and Nash for to be able to get around quickness and picks. Big guys, we can just lumber. Moving side to side, stopping, and your brain telling you to go up, and you feel a little twinge in that, and then the rehab process, then defense, then defensively, and his game is herky-jerky. It's not like he has a smooth game. His game is very herky-jerky. I hope well for him because I just look at his legs as being so athletic. How can he keep every time putting that back on him? It's like he's a running back.
What would your advice be to him as he rehabs?
I think today with the technology that we have and, you know, all the rehab specialists that we have, it's going to take him a year to come back. But I think when he plays, you know, he's not really a thinker. So I think when he makes that first move and he feels that his knee is strong, he'll be, you know, the same old Derrick Rose.
Is there advice you would give a guy coming back from a serious injury like that, a star in this league?
Ask Grant Hill if he's got advice, you know. And when I was in Phoenix with Grant, he made a point of talking to players. In fact, we played Portland one year in the playoffs. Brandon Roy was out with a knee injury. He decided to come back and play. Grant went and personally talked to Brandon and said, you got to think about this. This was my situation in Detroit. I played with a broken foot. It cost me 3 years. I think it makes sense for Derrick Rose to listen to people who have been there.
He's got to take his time. I like what Chuck said, if he's going to bring him back. It depends on really what the Bulls' situation is. I think if they're a top 4 seed, which they probably won't be in the Eastern Conference, do you risk bringing him back? But when it's your first major injury in a very young career, you know, you're coming off being the MVP, the youngest ever in our league, I think the Bulls have to be very cautious of bringing him back because he is the face of the Bulls now, supplanting Michael Jordan. So you got to be very careful bringing him back and putting him on the court.
The Bulls have to be careful, but Derrick Rose, like you said,
he's going to want to play.
He's in the young stage of his career. He still thinks kryptonite doesn't bother him. Like, in his mind, he still feels that he's going to be the best guard in the league. So until that is proven differently, and he will attack the game probably when he comes back, like I'm still the best guy in the league, and then if things don't work, then he's going to adjust. But he's going to come back playing the way that he thought he could play.
You're saying him attacking. What do you think Westbrook, Chris Paul,
right, until it doesn't work,
are thinking right now?
Until it doesn't, but right now he's
you think
like,
they're going to take it easy
but
on
he's
him?
looking at them saying, but no, but he's looking at them saying, y'all really couldn't see me when I was there, so I don't think you could see me when I come back.
I agree with you. I think he's going to come back and do great. I just know from sitting out 14 months, you come back that first 2 months, you have energy, you're going to get fatigued and tired. And he's the guy, the main guy on the team. I don't know if any point guard has to have the ball as much as him, so I'm like you guys. I don't think he's going to be cautious, but if I'm that ownership,
but this could be a blessing in disguise.
It's true. Yeah. Derrick Rose at that point, he was like 50% of that offense.
Too, because as you just said, he needs the basketball in his hands. This is a chance for him to work on other parts of his game, like shooting. Now, if he can come back and be a more well-rounded basketball player because of this injury, I think that's only going to help him as well as the Bulls.
Interesting story on a number of levels, that of Derrick Rose. Back with more on Open Court right after this.
Another guy that I played against who was probably the meanest shooting guard, Alvin Robinson.
Alvin Robinson.
Alvin Robinson.
Hey, oh man, my brain, my old brain is battling. Did he play for San Antonio or Milwaukee?
I mean, he's almost cut from the same cloth.
Vernon Maxwell. They cut from the same cloth.
This is cool. I like the conversation of forgotten legends or forgotten awesome basketball players.
Try to keep it going. A 4-on-2, and Andrew Toney. And the Sixers are back on top.
We welcome you back to Open Court, talking about the backcourt. And somewhere along the lines of what Steve Kerr was talking about earlier, he brought Mark Price's name up as maybe not an under-the-radar guy, but maybe not the first name you think of. And how about, where does Andrew Toney rank in this whole big picture?
Andrew Toney is the best player I ever played with.
What?
You know, I got
Including Dr. J.
Including Dr. Moses Malone. Those are guys at the end of their career.
Wow. I throw this water on you. Let's come on, I throw this water on you.
Dr. J, Dr.
And Moses.
I'm just telling you, the most dominant player that I played with.
Better than the King.
I'm just telling you, man. Hey, listen, like Kenny said earlier, when I got to Hakeem and Clyde, they were older than me. But Andrew Toney, I've always said, he's the best player I ever played with. The best player I ever played against was Kevin McHale. The best player I ever played with was Andrew Toney.
Because?
He was unstoppable. Flat out unstoppable. Just flat out unstoppable. And I'll tell you this.
He went under my radar. This is a good segment. I did not pay any attention to him when I was a kid or as an adult. I don't remember.
Boston Strangler.
But the one guy who I say I want to mention who gets lost in all this, Mitch Richmond.
Mitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mitch Richmond to me, and Michael Jordan has said Mitch Richmond was great. He played in Golden State and Sacramento. So, they're not big media markets.
Yeah, dude was a bucket.
Thank God Sacramento's not a big media market. I was taking a shot at Tara August, my bad, child.
I thought you were taking a shot at C-Webb.
No. See, Webb put him on the map.
He did.
Let me just say, if you're scratching your head at home a little bit, we are too here. Go ahead, C-Webb. Give me somebody who's a little under the radar.
Wow. I played with Mark Price, and I would definitely say Mark Price. But, wow, I got to go with my point guard, Rod Strickland.
Rod,
Rod Strickland was the best finisher under 6'4"
back in the day, I did a reaction video about Rod.
that couldn't dunk. He would finish, and it seemed like he would dribble, and you know how Hakeem had that one highlight of Hakeem dribbling down the court. You knew he really couldn't dribble when he was dunking. That's how even though Hakeem the man, but that's how Rod would dribble, and you would never see him like have the handle, and he would have his fingers taped, and he would just finish things. To me, I don't remember ever seeing a guard get as many and ones on big fellas as a guy that couldn't dunk like Rod.
Yeah, you want to see a prototype point? Like he was one of them. As far as like a point guard who can score a bucket at any given point, and he knows it, and he's going to exploit it.
Let's go back to Mark Price. You brought him up earlier. Break it down a little bit more into what he brought.
Well, he was a little bit like Steve Nash in that he was the best shooting point guard.
Who?
Well, Mark Price, you brought him up earlier.
Okay.
Break it down a little bit more into what he brought.
Well, he was a little bit like Steve Nash in that he was the best shooting point guard of his day. Could shoot any shot. As Kenny said, he invented splitting the pick and roll, and the reason it was effective was because he could shoot the runner in the lane. But he could stop
I want to watch that again. Okay, yeah, he's got a high pick and roll setup right here, and he's just gonna abandon it. He doesn't even care. He sees something else.
He could shoot the runner
See,
in the lane.
point guards didn't really do that at that point. At this point in basketball, it was more like run to damn play and then hit the big man on the roll. And yeah, he had the green light to just do wild stuff like this, and it really changed the game.
But he could stop on a dime in transition and shoot from three. Mark was much more athletic than people gave him credit for. He was fast, he was strong, and when he ran pick and roll with Brad Daugherty, it was a nightmare to defend.
I think the two guys, C-Webb and Chuck said, Rod Strickland, to me, didn't make an all-star team. To me, I couldn't understand why. When a guy could average 18 and 10 assists, lead the league in assists one year, you knew he couldn't shoot, go under the pick and roll, and he still get a layup. I think Rod Strickland, by far, was a guy that you could scout and report, he can't do this, he can't do that, but he had 20 and 10. And then Mitch Richmond, one of the hardest two guards on both ends. I didn't think he got his due, but those are two guys for me.
I agree.
In our commercial break, and again, this is not a rehearsed conversation, but our producer, Rodney Vaughn, and we're all talking, and we know what the topic is, but nobody knows what anybody's going to say. But Shaq did say, I'm going to drop one on you. in response to this question. So who's your under-the-weight guy, big fella?
Scotty Skiles.
Oh, Scott Skiles. Yep. Absolutely. I mean, oh, man. Once Penny got there, like, we didn't hear about Scott Skiles anymore, unfortunately. But, Scott Skiles was fantastic. Talk about a pure point guard.
Okay. Because he was mean. He was tough. He could shoot. He could split the pick and roll.
And he passed it to you.
And he passed it. And he tried to fight me one day in practice.
He still holds the assist record, right?
What do you think, one?
Okay.
No, I just,
well, give me more on that. I haven't read the book.
Actually, chapter 2, page 55. But
tell me. But no, I don't want to read. I want to hear from you how Scott Skiles at what 6 feet. 6'1"?
6 feet.
6'1".
Went after 7'3".
We were, I don't like to say names, but we were in partying. We were in L.A. and D. Scott was partying all night.
No, really?
Yeah, next day in practice, and Scott was the leader. He was a real vocalist. So the next day in practice, to me, it was a chill out day because the game was next day at 8 o'clock. So, chill out, practice, go rest, and then play for the game. So he kind of got in everybody's face. He got in my face, and I was like, my man, I ain't about all that. You better hold back. Understand what I'm saying? So he charged me, and I hit him with the same punch that I threw at Chuck, but he didn't duck.
He didn't duck.
No, he didn't duck. So it was pretty too, like come ducking.
Yes.
Like I reached out and they gave him that, and he fell back, and then Larry Kostroviak dunked on my back, and I gave him one of them WWE flips. And then D. Scott grabbed him. You understand what I'm saying?
Wait, he punched Scott Skiles in the face twice? That's what I'm getting out of this story. How did Scott survive?
Who would have got D. Scott from under the table?
Yes, he would. But D. Scott was out partying all night in L.A. At the gate on a Thursday.
Sorry I asked.
Boulevard.
I'm sorry I asked.
Reggie, who's your guy?
Lafayette Fat Lever. And this was a walking triple-double at the point guard position with the Denver Nuggets. And it's interesting because he never did it in flashy ways, but at the end of the day, you look at his numbers and he would have 18, 13, and 12. And another guy that I played against who was probably the meanest.
Now I hope you get a shout-out for Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. Man, that dude, talk about prototype.
Shooting guard, Alvin Robinson.
That's what I got. That was what
Alvin Robinson.
Rebound pulled away by LaSalle. Look out.
There he is, Bucks.
I'll tell you what, this guy Robertson, don't mess with him. I'll tell you, I don't care how big you are. You see him just pick up Michael Williams right off.
Yep. Say it again.
Alvin Robertson is a mean.
Let's see what happens.
He's almost cut from the same cloth.
Vernon
Maxwell.
No, they cut from the same cloth.
You don't know what you're going to get, but I would love to walk into a dark alley without Robinson.
When we come back, Shaquille O'Neal, Scott Skiles, cage match.
At the club.
That wasn't me.
Told on yourself now. You've already told on yourself.
How you know he was in the club? That means you was there.
Yep.
And then you got the tongue coming at you. You focus on the tongue. You focus on the ball. You focus on the waist. You looking at the shoes, the glint. You didn't know what you were going to do.
Just like that, he's talking about Michael Jordan. just like that. Just like that. Oh, man. You guys still with me? Hope you guys are enjoying this. Uh-oh. Good recovery. Better offense.
Hey, we're back on open court. Charles Barkley, Chris Webber, Steve Kerr, Steve Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, Reggie Miller, and Kenny the Jet Smith. Point guard with the best handle you ever saw, Smitty.
Point guards.
Oh, that's a lot.
Best handle. Point guards with the best handle, man. That's a combo.
Handles.
Rayford Austin. Skip to my Lou.
Of course.
God, Sham God.
Yeah, Sham God. Without question.
God, Sham God. By far. Those are the two guys.
And both play for my brother Vince. But I'm just saying they did when they were young.
At this point, I didn't see it coming. I didn't think time would forget him. But Tim Hardaway, man.
They both, but Sham guard, like like Ginobili does the move now. He probably perfected it the best way. He throws the ball out with his right hand and grabs it with his left. But we all grew up calling that the Sham guard.
It's a Sham guard.
That was, and there wasn't a European move.
He played at Providence?
Played at Providence. I saw him play against Mike Bibby in the NCAA tournament. And this was Mike Bibby and Miles Simon. They were the best backcourt in college basketball. He dismantled them. But the only thing, he did the Sham guard move where he threw it out and brought it back, and they collided.
Damn.
It was the best move other than Kenny Anderson. Might have the other
Kenny
guy
Anderson.
who played for my brother Vince again. Who had, I'm just saying, that had the best handles.
It's the truth.
It's the truth. I'm just saying, it's the truth. That had the best handles I've ever seen was those three guys.
Kenny Anderson was another one I really liked. I bet I still have a bunch of his cards.
Skip.
Rayford. Skip wasn't, it was two different people. When he played in the NBA or he played in college, he wasn't Skip Temalu. But when he went to, I told him, I said, if you ever brought the real Skip Temalu to the NBA, you'd be the biggest endorsement in NBA history.
The problem is no coach was willing to allow that, especially back then.
Because he still never really collided those worlds and Jason Williams collided those worlds better than he did. But he was never brought
too. Both of them, all the street hoopers that came into the NBA, they were very restricted back then. And I kind of wish they let him just unleash
what he did in Rucker Park and in
he would have been traveling. You travel at Rucker Park.
Man,
that's true, though. That's true. 90s and 2000s, they called travels on every time you traveled. And those park moves are traveling, most of them at least. So that's true. Never mind. Here I am blaming the coaches, but literally you can't get away with most of these moves.
Putting the ball under your shirt.
Now they could, though. Oh, my God. Now they could do all kinds of crazy stuff. They'll never get called for a travel.
He has some other things.
That will not work.
He has some other things that
does not work in the NBA.
No, but he has some other things that were just unbelievable. Those three guys.
I'm with you, Kenny. I saw
Kenny Anderson with the Bobby Hurley move.
Good, but it wasn't
college.
Sham guard and Skip.
I got a chance to play with Jay Will and God Sham God, and I've never seen anybody with handles like this, and I'm going to give Jay Will the nod.
Over Sham God?
I would see Jay Will.
Yes. No.
I would see Jay Will.
Yeah.
I would see Jay Will.
I would have given, I would have done the opposite. As far as passing, I'd give it to Jay Will. But handles, I was going to go Sham.
5-pound ankle weights on his.
Oh, that Sham guard do that.
That's what Sham did that in West Virginia.
That's what Sham was doing.
That's the Sham guard.
Jay Will did that in West Virginia.
Matter of fact, Jay Will got this move. Have you seen this? Now, that's the Sham guard. You throw it out. You know how you come behind the back, Reggie? Mm-hmm. Jay Will got this.
Yeah.
Jay Will got. I'm a fake
Everybody
it
in New
behind
York
the
do
back.
that, man. Come on, are you kidding me?
Full speed.
No, but
You see he made Gary Payton. You see Gary Payton try to strip.
Oh,
Remember that?
Yeah. I remember that night too. He stuck that leg.
He's hard with handles.
Okay.
I'm going with two guys, really, that we all basically know that I've seen what they've done in real NBA games. One would be Isaiah Thomas. And we all remember the highlight in the Boston
one.
Garden of him crossing over Danny Ainge, waiting, telling him to come up, hurry up, crossing him over again, and drilling a shot in front of his face.
I mean, there's got to be like a video about the evolution, about the crossover. And like, it's, Isaiah's not one, but he's the one who started. I would give him the nod in the 80s. And then in the 90s, Tim Hardaway, brought it up a level with his killer crossover. And then, who the hell came after him? Man, so many have. Oh, then it was Allen Iverson with his, man, and it's just evolved over time. But yeah, man, like Tim Hardaway. If you ever hear him talk, he's always talking about Isaiah because that was his guy. Like, how do I make that even better? And then next evolution is Allen Iverson, and he's like, how do I do what Tim Hardaway's doing? But better,
And then the other one, look, it's the freak at 6'9". We all thought we could steal the ball from Magic Johnson. We all have guarded Magic Johnson, but no one could ever get the ball.
His handle wasn't crazy, though.
I love his vision. Come on, man.
His vision was
only
crazy.
Dennis Johnson was the only person that could rip Magic Johnson. I'm talking about full.
Magic handle was
handles was.
Now, I'm talking
big body.
Well, everyone has
But
tried
6'9"
it
was
at
great.
6'9",
6'9" was great.
point guard.
I mean, I see what he's saying,
LeBron-
but I disagree. Magic's handles weren't like amazing. The passing, absolutely. But the fact that he was that tall and he played point and he didn't get that many turnovers, fair enough. So he might not be flashy as a handler, but he's definitely a safe handler.
Got a better handle than Magic, though.
Oh. Are you kidding me?
You don't have better vision.
Are you kidding me?
Got a better handle.
No way. You
got a better handle.
I'm going to say Tim Hardaway was another guy.
Yeah.
UTEP two-step.
UTEP two-step. And
Well, if you're going to bring him, you got to bring Pearl Washington because he stole the move for Pearl.
How did
Really?
you say AI? Yeah, I was going to say.
There's the evolution.
AI's was speed. It wasn't handle.
It was speed to me, too.
It was speed.
I'm going to have to agree with Reggie on Isaiah Thomas because Isaiah, if you go
We saw
back,
nobody leaves
Dude,
Alabama.
Isaiah
dribbling,
was
did they?
that low dribbler, man. He was so fast with his dribbling, dude. That would be a nightmare to guard that guy.
Isaiah, if you go
We saw
back,
nobody leaves Alabama dribbling, did you?
Dirt road. That's the whole city.
wow.
I'm going to wake you up, Chuck.
That's 5 hour.
5 hour energy.
But this dude,
Y'all remember when
you
they
had
came
the
out with
best
6 hour energy?
handle for the power forward I've seen in a while.
Thank you, man.
You did.
When Isaiah Thomas, if you go back and look at those old Pistons when they tried to outscore people, when they had like Kenny Tripucka and those guys, when Isaiah was like leading it and like were way up there and scoring because they went from an all offensive team to a defensive team. When they had their offensive team with Isaiah and Kenny Tripucka, John Long and those guys, that's when Isaiah had the crazy handle. I mean, but it was always amazing to me how that team went from all offense trying to outscore people to becoming a defensive juggernaut. When I said defensive juggernaut, that means they tried to kill you every time you went to the basket. I mean, 'cause, man, I tell you, I always tell people, when you played against those Pistons in their heyday, every time you went to the basket, when you got up off the floor, you're like, I think I still got some of my...
Loaded question, man. Loaded question.
Loaded.
Best big man handle, Shaq.
Me.
See? I done loaded.
I mean, it was him for the first half of his career.
Go ahead. I'll let you go.
To your question, I have a two-part answer. My favorite big guy with handle was Penny Hardaway.
A big guy.
Yeah, big guy.
Big guard.
Yeah,
Big guard.
Yeah, 6'9", big guy, 6'9".
Better than Magic's?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Penny.
I think so, too. It was dribbling. We're just talking handles. I think it was better than Magic when it came to that.
Hold on. Yes,
Penny handles way better than
yes.
that.
Cut it out. Yes.
Y'all too young, man.
Yeah, just handles. Just handles. Not passing ability. No way.
Lights are going to fall on him, man.
And Ernie, to be a little bit different, the best guys with handle are not even in the NBA. Like if you go to the Rucker in the Street League,
Hot sauce,
bone collector.
They traveling, man.
Don't matter. We're talking about handle.
They traveling and carrying.
Had handles and double dribble. If the ref blow the whistle,
That's true.
Well, see, I count handle. This is why I don't put Magic
And
in the
obviously,
handle
this is
category.
before Kyrie came around.
Because he'd find somebody. But when you're double team and in traffic and got to get out with the handle, Magic's not doing that.
Yeah,
that's Isaiah. That's Shamgar. That's those guys. They getting out of traffic with the dribble. Magic's gonna be like, y'all stupid enough to put two people on me. I'm gonna find the open man and get him open. Those guys say I'm gonna dribble through it.
Go ahead, Steve.
Well, with all the guys that we've talked about, there's really only two Hall of Famers, or at least like perennial All-Stars, and that's Isaiah and Tim Hardaway. Most of the names, it's more about the show than the actual production. That's why I like Isaiah. If I had one guy, I'd take Isaiah because he had both. And whatever he did with the ball, it always translated into something good offensively.
One more thing. Anybody really ever get embarrassed? I mean, really get embarrassed. Somebody cross you over.
Chuck did. Huh? Chuck did. I'll talk about it because I know C-Web don't want to talk about it. When Chuck reached and he wrapped around the back, looked at Chuck, and threw it down on his head.
What?
And then did a commercial about it.
You know,
that was woo.
No, that's not interesting. He's right.
Yeah, that was a great play by C-Web. But like,
I remember Chuck being salty because they put that on a commercial. That highlight for I think Chris Webber's shoes.
So that was just a great play by C-Web. The only thing I was mad about, because we've all gotten dunked on.
Not like that.
Everybody's got dunked on.
Not like
but
that.
like the only thing that made me mad, I had made up my mind we were running down the court that I was going to foul C-Web. So when I reached for the ball, I was really just going to knock the hell out of him, to be honest with you. And then when he put that ball, got you. No, trickery got you. So I did, because I was like, okay, because I look at my mind was worse. Okay, I'm gonna just hit him and knock the ball out of his hand hard, take a foul. And then when I reached down to slap the hell out of him, he put that ball behind his back, and I said, because I was like, and I knew I was in trouble then. I did.
For you, Kenny, was there a guy who, when you saw him bring it up, you felt there was the potential for embarrassment if you're not careful?
Well, embarrassment is like you can't stop him from getting to the spot he wants to. For me.
Or he's going to break your ankle out,
and that guy
35 feet from the hoop, and you're going to be on every highlight.
We mentioned him in another segment. Is Ross Strickland. Like, you just couldn't stop him from getting to the area he wanted to. And the embarrassment came from your teammates and everybody, because it was always playoff games or big games when we played Portland or when he was in San Antonio. And they're like, you cannot keep a guy who can't shoot out the paint? And I'm like, no, because he's keeping his dribble alive so he can keep getting to the paint.
We didn't want to be embarrassed. You're talking about crossover and all that, and that's number 23.
Yep.
And we're talking about handles and all that at 6'4", 6'5". MJ was going to embarrass you because he was quick.
6'5". I am hearing more and more each day that Michael Jordan was not 6'6". I'm hearing 6'4" a lot, and I'm hearing 6'5" lately. And we know. Guys used to say they were taller than they were back then. Now it seems to be the opposite. They're saying they're shorter so they can not play center because people don't want to play center anymore. But yeah, I don't know if Michael Jordan's 6'6" anymore, you guys. And even I think it was Matt Damon who said he was talking to MJ, because they did that movie together, and he was saying like something about him being 6'4", and MJ just looked at him and he said, yeah, that makes everything that I accomplished even harder, like even greater, if I did it at 6'4". Now, I don't know if that confirms it or if that's just like Michael Jordan talking trash like he does, but I don't know, man. I just don't know. Was he really 6'6"?
He could post up, he could shoot, coming at you.
In and out, right hand. Don't know if you're going to pull up or keep going.
I mean, and you're backing up. And then he's got the tongue coming at you. Do you focus on the tongue? Do you focus on the ball? Do you focus on the waist? You looking at the shoes, the glint. You didn't know what you were going to do.
I still give Smitty, you had a handle, though.
I appreciate it.
Smitty was up there with the big guard handles.
Yeah, you know the thing I will give Smitty credit? The thing I hate about Smitty, and you guys know this from picking, there's nothing worse. Like, before you play against certain players, you're like, they're going to do this thing. They're going to do this thing.
Don't do it.
Don't go for this. And it still works. That's the only thing that drove me crazy about Smith.
That's what I think about the Kobe Bryant pump fake. Like, don't just stay on the ground, man, but everyone goes for it.
Went over that on the board.
And he do the same thing.
Hey, when you started the move, like when
classic.
you would start,
Right.
You could hear the guys on your team on the bench going, here it goes. And it didn't matter. Here it goes. And then, boom.
I mean, I come from big guards, like you said, Magic. But Penny Hardaway, when I got a chance to face another guy 6'8" with real handles, Penny was one of those guys I could see, Kenny, you picking up full court, that it didn't bother.
It didn't bother him, no.
I'm a big guard. When a little guard came, I'm still going to turn my back. He never turned his back.
Young fellas out there, that's it. You need to protect the ball, especially when you're dribbling the ball up court. Turn around and face your back to the basket. Protect the ball. They can't get to the ball unless they foul you. They got to reach around and foul you. This is it. Penny was great at this. Magic was the best I've ever seen at this because he was so tall. he was vulnerable out there. You full court press a tall guy, 6'9", and he's dribbling the ball up the court. Yeah, man, if he's faced up, you could steal that ball, no problemo. Turn your back to the basket, which Magic did all the time. Unstoppable. And then you just need to use your peripheral vision, and Magic was great at that, looking at both sides. So was Penny, but that's it. Like back then, those assists, a lot of those assists came with your back to the basket, and it's like that's why we used to say you've got eyes behind, in the back of your head. This is literally why we used to say this stuff, because how do you see in all this action? The great passers, they could.
Tells me you can handle the basketball. At 6'8", with Muggsy, with little guys, when you don't turn your back, that's true handles. Penny never turned his back when guys was pressuring up 94
And the reason why I bring that up is because now with the, with the new rules that make it basically so you can't touch the offensive player, it seems like the new generation of players have totally forgotten about that. Like, because they assume that, I just face up. I always face up. That's how all offense is done nowadays. Nothing is done out of the post anymore, and nothing is done with your back to the basket. But at those points where you're getting trapped, you got to put your back to the basket. But like I don't see anybody figuring this out anymore. I don't know why. It hasn't been that long.
The best ball handlers here on Open Court.
I met a guy. His name was Terry Catlett. You remember Terry Catlett?
Oh, yeah. Catman.
So
Catbone.
Yeah, so Terry called me in the office and said, hey, you want this number, you gotta give me 50 stacks. I was like, 50 what? Like 50 stacks. So I chose 32 in Orlando.
Oh! That's gonna be a cool story.
And for more, you can check us out on NBA.com. We welcome you back to Open Court, and I guess this is the numbers game. Explain to me numbers you have worn. I don't care if it's when you were first playing up until the NBA. Numbers you wore and why you wore them, Shaq.
Well, I played for a lot of teams, so it's going to be a long answer.
Oh, my God. Well, we want the Cliff Notes.
We'll wait.
Is that in here?
If you had the Cliff Notes, you still fail the test.
Is it in here?
Well,
Yes,
listen,
right there on that page.
if you want to be, won't you give us the numbers when you could play? That'll shorten the list.
Strike 4.
Was that after my 8th year when I passed you up?
Wow.
Anyway.
Where were we?
Anyway.
Really?
No, when I was growing up, I was a Patrick Ewing guy. Patrick was my guy. I liked the way he played. He was mean. He was ferocious. He was my guy. So when I was in high school, I chose 33. LSU, 33. When I got drafted by Orlando, I also wanted 33. But I met a
Shaq card, by the way, from back in the day.
guy. His name was Terry Catlett. You remember Terry Catlett?
Oh, yeah. Catman.
So
Catbone.
Yeah, so Terry called me in the office and said, hey, you want this number, you got to give me 50 stacks. I was like, 50 what? Like 50 stacks. So I chose 32 in Orlando. So when I left Orlando.
You was a businessman first.
Yeah, businessman. I'm like, I'm not paying you 50, I give you 20. Like 50. So when I left Orlando and got traded to LA, 33 was the great Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Couldn't do that. So I decided to go 34. Where'd I go after 34? Oh, Miami. When I got traded to Miami, Alonzo wore 33, and I didn't want people to forget about what he did in Miami, so I chose 32.
Well, they teamed
then when
up,
I went
too,
to the great
and won a championship together.
Steve Kerr, what I wear, I wore did in Miami, so I chose 32. Then when I went to the great Steve Kerr, what I wear, I wore 33. I wore 33 because of
Wait, what? I see 32 on the screen.
I already had 32, right? Or did I wear 32? I don't remember.
Your career, don't you?
I don't remember. It's a long career.
I'm with you. The Cliff Notes would have been
He's a terrible GM. He didn't
No, actually, you know what?
My department.
No, actually, you know what? I wore 32, and then when I got traded to Cleveland, I wore 33, and then when I went to Boston, before I got shot in the leg.
Shot in the leg. Yeah, I know what that feels like, Shaq. Right in the back of the leg.
I decided to wear 36 because it was my sixth team, so I decided to wear 36.
Wait,
Somebody-
I
you
was
had a
too busy
choice,
laughing.
30.
I didn't hear the explanation. Why did he wear 36?
See, I'm already saying it. I decided to wear 36 because it was my sixth team, so I decided to wear 36.
36, all right.
If you had a choice, 33 was your number.
Yes, 33 is my number.
For Patrick. Okay.
I got my number's always been 34, and I just got it because that was the only number they had in high school.
Really?
It had no sentimental value. It was just the last number.
All right, let's put it in the comments, guys. For all of you who did play, what number did you wear? Back then, for me, we, at least my group of friends, we saw it cheesy if you wore 23. Like, don't wear 23. Like, that's Michael Jordan's number. We already back then, we were thinking, like, nobody should ever wear this jersey number again. That's just how we were. I wore 11 for Isaiah Thomas back then, you know? And, yeah, we could say what we want about Isaiah as a person nowadays. I'm not a big fan of him. But as a basketball player, man, I was a huge Isaiah Thomas fan. So, yeah, I wore 11. What about you guys? Put it in the comments for me.
Briefly, you wore 32 for Magic.
Well, you know, because Magic, I always tell people, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, and Michael Jordan.
I forgot about that. So he did that out of respect for Magic when he went down.
The NBA family, because I think those two guys, Magic and Bird, saved the NBA, and Michael took it to a whole nother level. So they made me a lot of money. So with Magic,
guys, so many of the greatest basketball players ever have a 3 in their number, in their jersey number.
As he had HIV, I wanted to honor him, and Billy was kind enough to let me wear 32 for 1 year because it was already in the sky,
right, or in the rafters.
Wait, so it was retired, and he still got to do it. Wow.
That again,
I'm learning a lot from this.
It was just hanging in the sky.
Most of the time, there's a jersey in the sky.
Playing indoors most of the time. C-Web, you've had some interesting choices.
Yeah, high school I had 44 because of Derek Coleman. Then I had 34 because of Chuck.
34 because of Chuck.
High school, yeah, he was my, you know.
What?
Chuck, yeah. I had
That's awesome.
between us.
But it's funny because I got a story just like you. So I get, and Larry Johnson wore 4. My best friend Kevin wore 4. So I wanted to take that to the NBA. Big fellas was wearing big numbers. I wanted to wear a small number. But I get to Washington after being traded, and Scott Skiles says to me, I need $300,000 for this 4.
Man,
300,000?
And I wore number 2 that year. That's the only year I wore another number. But he hit me that year. I was like,
hey, man, Scott doesn't get paid that much, so he needed the money, I guess.
Catless got wrong.
I was like, yo, you know, you sure you're going to do this? He was like, yeah, you give me the number. I was like, nah, that's cool.
300.
Right, 300, yeah. Make sure
okay, Scotty.
Come on. But he had pictures of you too or something? I gave you these pictures of his number. $300,000.
He's fakes.
That bodes well for team chemistry.
Exactly, yeah. We won 13 games that year.
You're up next, Steve.
I was 24 in high school, and I asked for that when I got to Arizona in college, and it was taken. So I went with 25 because I had 2 high school teammates, a guy named Kevin Stewart, who played at USC, a guy named Leroy Smith, who went to Cal, and they both took 25. And so it was kind of a solidarity thing. We all 3 of us had 25 in college.
Oh, that's so cute. That is so cute.
Come on, guys.
That hurt.
It's sentimental, man. You got to do him like that. Oh!
Earrings, too? Tattoos, actually.
You got matching butterfly tattoo, Steve?
All right, Chet.
Well, I had 30 my whole career except for 1 year in Atlanta for like 15 games. But 30 was Bernard King. I was from New York. The BK Broiler was getting 50 points back to back. He was that guy that everybody wanted to be like.
He was a monster.
And so 30 was my number because of Bernard King.
31 came from?
Well, everyone assumes that 13 is the bad luck number. So
flipped it.
It's very simple. I just wanted to flip it around. I'd been 31 since college and my whole pro career.
Was Cheryl 31 too?
Mm-hmm.
Same.
I don't know if
mentality.
I don't know if that's her mentality.
But did you have it because she had it as well? Did you even?
We wanted to keep it in the family.
Oh.
No, I mean that. I like
How about
that,
Daryl?
man. I always liked how close he is with Cheryl, man. And like, imagine that. Imagine being the parents of these two. Like you give birth to one of the great. I mean, we're talking like Mount Rushmore WNBA players and just women's basketball players of all time with Cheryl. And then you got Reggie freaking Miller, who's one of the greatest, like in the men's league. Like, that's some good genetics.
He was with the Angels.
Thank you.
31.
Yeah, 31.
Yeah.
So it's more of it's a family
Wait,
number.
wait.
Family
Family
number.
affair.
It's a family.
Family.
Oh.
Oh.
You got a lot of.
How about Daryl when he was with the Angels?
Thank you.
Did
31.
Daryl
Yeah,
was
31.
Yeah.
So it's more of it's a family number.
Family affair.
It's a family number. You
Warm and
like,
fuzzy
He might have
kind
been
of a
32
segment
for a
here.
year, but
Really nice.
I think 31 kept him in the Miller family.
Really
Wow.
nice. That's another edition of Open Court, and we'll see you again next time.
Be water, my friends. All right, that was good times, you guys. All right. Put it in. Sorry for coughing right in the microphone there. Put it in the comments. Who made it to the end? That was really fun. I think my favorite segment here was the. Honestly, was the forgotten greats that they do. Like, I love these type of conversations, especially like how modern basketball coverage has gotten, where it's, I mean, we're all guilty of this, unfortunately, but it's usually about the same like handful of people. Like, I love to see conversations, especially with NBA legends like this, just talking about all of those who didn't quite make the cut. As far as like, let's just be real. Most of the guys that were listed, they didn't win a championship, therefore they weren't like sealed. Like their legacy wasn't sealed forever. And it's the hardcore basketball fans like me and you who remember these players. And it gets sad when you bring them up to younger players and they have no idea who you're talking about. It's like, damn, man. Before Steph Curry, there was Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. There's steps to getting here. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Anyways, guys, this is probably a very long video, so I should just wrap it up, guys. It was great to take a break from current basketball stuff, and that's why we do this at the end of the month every single month. That's the goal, at least. It's a great reset. So hopefully you have this mindset for your life too, because right now I know we're all freaking grinding our asses off, trying to stay afloat, trying to stay alive, trying to pay these damn bills, and we all got these worries in the current day. So maybe have a nostalgic night. I think I'm gonna do the same, and I'm going to kind of carry this force in and just kind of, maybe I'm going to play some nostalgic video games or something like that. Tell you the truth. That's my game plan for today. So, guys, hopefully you do the same. And tomorrow we'll be back to the damn grind because we always got to get back to it. And we will continue pushing through, continue surviving, and continue to stay above water. That's the goal. Guys, thank you so much for supporting my channel. It means the world to me. I am not... The thought does not escape me that right now you guys are allowing me to do this as my main gig. And I am very thankful for that. The second this doesn't work out, got to get back out there like I've always been. But if as long as we can sustain this and you guys keep supporting the channel, man, I would love to continue doing this for years. So I'm saving this for the end of the video because I know there's only a handful of you left at this point that are still watching this after like an hour-long video like this. But I appreciate you guys. I want you to know that. And I hope we can do this dance for years to come. So thanks for watching. I appreciate you all. And shout out to members because this is one of those that usually gets copyright claimed. But whether it does or it doesn't, I appreciate every single one of you watching. All right. Now go have a fun, nostalgic night and get your head out of the current news, all right? Be water, my friends.